Welcome everyone. This is your host, the Hope Dealer, and this is your show on Healing Palm Tree. I welcome you all to my channel. If this is the first time you're watching me, welcome. Feel free to check out any of my other videos and a lot of my other content that is available on patreon.com. You can find me on or join me, join to become a Patreon. If you just search on Patreon for Healing Palm Tree, or just find the link in the description below. Okay, so this brings me to my first sort of topic, and how I work is that, I don't really get a set plan on like what I'm going to talk about. So I channel messages from spirit. There's like an overarching theme that spirit guides me in like my daily meditations, and then thus I'm just guided to talk about those things. Okay, so I use various tools to connect with my higher self and to connect with spirit. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about self-imposed limiting beliefs. What are they? Okay, and how do they affect our lives and that sort of thing, and what can we do to overcome self-imposed limiting beliefs? Okay, because I feel it's vital that one learns how to do so. Okay, so first things first, what are self-imposed limiting beliefs? I believe, self-imposed beliefs are any belief, thought, idea that you may have. Either you are consciously aware of it, right? But generally it also works in your subconscious. So it's things that you do sort of like when you're on autopilot. You're just reactionary. You're not as self-aware as you could be, right? So those self-imposed beliefs are generally beliefs that you're not good enough. They've got a lot to do with your self-esteem, your self-image, your self-conception, and that sort of thing. And feeling like you're not good enough, having doubts within yourself, feeling like you can't do something or achieve something, feeling basically like you are in a mental prison. And what's mostly sad is when one doesn't necessarily realize that they are in this prison. So I'm going to speak about self-imposed beliefs, how to realize that you are imposing, these restrictive, constraining beliefs on yourself and in your life, you know what I mean? And generally also how they are formed. They can be formed from various scenarios, and generally tend to be formed when you are still developing your sense of self. So this could be in childhood, while you're an adolescent, even in your mid-20s, but even throughout your whole life. But I would say those beliefs generally get cemented and formed when you are still forming your self-concept. Okay, so with that being said, what helps us develop or inform, what informs of us of our identity, right? It's our name, what you like, what you don't like, your unique quirks and your personality and the things that drive you. Okay, so now those things are then formed while you're obviously still developing and growing. And a lot of the times we get to a certain age or a certain point in your life where let me not say age, but let me just say a certain point in your life where you look at yourself and you look at your life, and you realize that, you know, has this always been me? Has this always been what I like? And like, you start then to explore new things. Usually this is now, I would say, your late adolescent going into your 20s, mid 20s, and that sort of thing. Then really starting to, you see a lot of people starting to maybe even rebel against what it is that they had identified with previously, which is normal, I feel. I really feel that when you are reflecting on, yourself and your sort of path, that's a very healthy way to, keep growing, because nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. So you are then also evolving as a person, you know what I mean? And well, there'll be a need for you to evolve if that's not what you're doing, if you're stagnating. Okay, so stagnation is one of the key signs of self-imposed limiting beliefs. Okay, it's also a sense of no control in your life. It's also a sense of no control, and also having no sort of like power within your life, right? Then the third thing that I'll mention is also having a sense of, like, lack of trust within yourself. But I think it's kind of similar to the stagnation, but I would say a lack of trust within yourself. Okay, and also what tends to form self-imposed limiting belief is when you've encountered a difficult situation. Let's say you wanted to try out for, I don't know, to be in a certain, I don't know, team or something, or you're applying for something and you didn't get that thing, right? I look at things from a very, I would say, holistic perspective, you know what I mean? And I think it could help to do the same thing for yourself, because once you do that, you tend to get a bigger picture of things. We as people, we tend to really just think of things within our own like little worlds, and like, oh, how could that happen to me? Everyone goes through things, like everyone goes through tough times, hardships, and all those things. And those things, I personally believe, are there to, help you form, a more robust character. You know what I mean? And I also think that as human beings, that's also one of our things, is to solve problems. You know what I mean? So, yes. So the thing is, it's now developing the tools that you need to help you solve those issues. Okay, self-limiting beliefs. A lot of people do feel, that at some point, or for a period of their lives, feel like, oh, I can't do something or whatever, or just have a basic lack of trust within themselves, low self-esteem, and that sort of thing. And like I said, that generally is informed by experiences that we've had through our childhood, adolescent stage, and maybe even throughout our mid-20s, and just generally in life, right? But then the thing is, we would assume that as you are maturing and getting older, that you are becoming more reflective of yourself, and thus knowing how to, again, like I said, having those tools, having developed those tools to help you deal with certain issues, right? Deal with certain setbacks, rejection, and that sort of thing, when things don't go your way, and how to deal with those things, right? So, like I said, it's great to look at things from a holistic perspective. Always take into account that, you do have power, okay? You do have power, and the power always resides in your perception of matters. Things do happen, like shit does hit the fan, but also your perception of shit hitting the fan and how to move forward always lies with you. Because the shit's gonna be on the fan. Like, are you gonna let it chill there? Literal, okay, I'm not talking literal shit, but like, you know what I mean. Are you just going to sit and wallow, or are you going to ask yourself, okay, what can I learn from this situation? What is the situation trying to teach me? Is usually a more empowered way to look at things, right? Than to wallow and ask things like, why me? Because I feel like in the universe there is calculation in all of this apparent chaos. That's why we've got the divine feminine and the divine masculine principles, and together they need to be utilized and in harmony and in alignment and in balance for you to really flourish and be, the person that you're meant to be. Your higher self is just like raving, like, hi, I'd like to come through and shine and just, be great and solve issues and learn and live and love, right? Cool. So with self-imposed limiting beliefs, right, it's important that one doesn't get too bogged down by them. Okay, like I said, begin by taking a more empowered perspective of your life, yourself, of things, because that power only resides within you, right? Cool. Then I would say the second thing is to take, or rather maybe plan and then take steps in how it is you can, connect with this more empowered version of yourself, right? And also believing your sort of beliefs, on needing to change. And this needs to be something that happens every day, I believe, literally every day, or whenever you feel like things are just too hard, you're just in this mental prison, that you've kind of constructed, but also maybe you don't realize that you've constructed this prison, or you've let others construct it for you because of their projections and that sort of thing onto you, right, throughout your growth and your experiences and that sort of thing. So you're going to want to also then realize that by being able to, take stock of what it is, that is going on with you, like really take the steps to, like for instance, if you are having a very hard time, you need, like I said, that's why I said it's a daily practice. As much as like you are brushing your teeth every single day, you need to be in your mind restructuring, talking to yourself. I hope you just told you guys to talk to yourselves. Yeah, talk to like that. That mental chatter that you have is something that you need to be doing. You know what I mean? It's like a relationship with yourself. As much as you have relationships with other people, places, and things, you form that how? or you maintain that relationship how? By growing, growing it, putting time, investing time, energy into it. So now you need to invest the same time and energy within yourself, within those thoughts that you're having. So you need to recreate those thoughts, recreate new thoughts, every single moment, especially when you are feeling low or like you can't do something. That's when you really need to kick it up a notch. But it should be a daily practice. As much as like you can say affirmations in the mirror, you can write things down, you can literally just speak out loud. Speaking out loud has so much power, and also writing your thoughts down, even if it's a few things every day. Set time aside. We set time aside for so many things that we don't realize, and then a lot of people tend to feel like you don't have time to do certain things. Like, oh, I'm so busy. What? No, you can't be too busy to work on yourself. Like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Honestly, if you can tell me what it means, yeah. So yes, if you can tell me what it means to be too busy to work on yourself. What else are you doing? Like, what else is like that? What's more important than working on yourself? I'm so sorry. Because by doing that, you are literally going to be feeding into your other relationships, your sense of being, your whole existence, your whole life. So by doing that, it's literally benefiting. It's a whole chain reaction. Do you know what I mean? It's benefiting your entire existence and people that are in your life and that are going to be coming into your life, because now as you become more conscious, as you become more self-aware, you are going to be a force, a magnet of so much power and goodness, which we all really deserve to be. But it only starts with you. Once you decide that, you know what, I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Because if you do what you always did, you're always gonna get what you got. Facts. Facts. So you just need to realize that that's all that you need. The power within yourself to create a new reality for yourself. It's always within you. It always lies within you. It will always reside within you. Okay, that's all I have for today. And I hope you guys will check out the rest of my content. Enjoy your days. Go about your day. If you're watching this in the evening, sleep well. Chilling. Love from me to you always. Okay? Take care of yourself. This has been your host, the Heart Dealer, here on Healing Palm Tree.